Welcome back to the channel, everybody. As promised, this is my 2025 collecting goals. So without further ado, let me share with you a little PowerPoint presentation that I put together to help organize my thoughts and give you an update of where I am at with certain projects and what I hope to be able to achieve for the coming year. So let me go ahead and pull it up here and do screen share. And we got Comiskey Park in the background, and obviously the 2025 collecting goals on slide 1. Let's start off with the set I've been working on for the last 2 years. So I'll be moving on to year number 3 of the set, which is the 1934 to 1936 Diamond Stars. As you can see here, I got 3 pictured. The last 3 I picked up at the most recent Chicago Sports Spectacular. As I've highlighted before in other videos, I have 56 of the 96 unique cards. This does not include the high series cards, which are repeats of cards from the lower series. My goal for this year would be add 14 more cards to be able to reach 70 overall, which I think would be a good place kind of going into, I guess, what would be the 4th year of working on this set. But one of the things I wanted to try and do of those is I have 16 more Hall of Fame cards. Some of them are going to be pretty expensive. Some of them are like Mel Ott, Jimmy Fox, Lefty Grove, Hank Greenberg. Those aren't the ones I'm targeting at this point. If I happen to walk into one at a time where I think I can actually pull it off, I might do it. My goal was to be able to pick up some of the little bit more mid-tier Hall of Fame players, since I still have quite a few of those to be able to acquire as well, in addition to, if I'm going just for 14, that would be 6 other common cards, which I'd probably be looking for more like mid-grade for those. So that is what I'm targeting for the Diamond Star set. I'll be working on that throughout the year. I didn't prioritize these, so they're kind of ones that I'll be kind of moving through throughout the year, and not really, I might focus on more on one at one time and more on another at another time. But there's no like prioritization of like getting this done this year kind of thing. All right, so then we on to the 1953 Bowman Color set. As I mentioned during my highlight video of that from the last year, I'm up to 117 cards, which still leaves me 43 cards, and I'm missing 7 Hall of Fame players. My goal would be to add the remaining commons and semi-stars, which sounds like it might be easy, but some of the semi-stars are pretty expensive, like Yankees, like Billy Martin, which is not necessarily a cheap card for the set, so it might still take me a little while to get it. And of the 7 Hall of Fame players, I might want to try and see if I can knock out the Doby, the Schneider, and maybe the Bob Feller this year. If I happen to get none of them, that's okay. I'd like to be able to kind of see if I can target that 153 number of getting the remaining commons and semi-stars, which I think is pretty doable, and I'll be able to get it at like larger card shows and also purchases online to be able to do it. But I could see this one really maybe being on the 2026 list to be able to try and knock this set out, which will include having to target the Pee Wee Reese card, the Yogi Berra card, and of course the Mickey Mantle card being the biggest of those 3 that I kind of mentioned there. All right, so players I collect stay usual. Here we go, a couple pickups from last year and the previous year featured here in this picture. So there's like 6 more cards that I'm kind of targeting him from the vintage era. Some of them there's additional ones that either I'm not interested in or they're just really expensive, so I'm not even really trying to target those. With the exception of the 49 Leaf, I think all these are like affordable and things I might be able to pick up during the course of this year. So let's start with the 54 Red Heart. That's one, maybe a national purchase. I might want to target for that, just because I'd like to be able to see these in person, just to kind of get a feel for the registration on the card, which sometimes doesn't come out so well on some online purchases. So I just want to kind of make sure that it kind of looks the way that I'd like to be able to have it in my stand usual collection, since that would be like the bigger card pickup of the year. So it'll either be that one, or if I go down to the bottom here, I have the 63 Bazooka, which is actually kind of a little bit more of a scarce card of his, but it's an obtainable card. And I've seen them individual, and I've seen them on panels of the Bazooka gum packages, and I'd be fine with either of them. I think the panels actually look pretty cool. But those are going to be the 2 pricier ones. I have the 49 Leaf on here to just show you that is a card I'm going to be targeting at some point. Just not right now. And then there's like 3 real smaller Topps products that were either inserts in package or a standalone product. They're the Topps Bucks in 1962, and there's also the Topps Stamps. So I think those are probably pretty easy ones to pick up, as well as the Topps Peel Off. None of those 3 are all that expensive, and I'll be able to get those for well over $100, likely also in graded condition. So those would kind of be the ones I'd like to get. My dream would be to be able to get the red heart, the bazooka, and those top supplements and leave it just to the leaf card. But if there's some that carry over to next year, that's okay. All right, talking about Derek Jeter. I put this picture in particular because I don't need his main gold cards. I need all the ones where he's featured with other players or he's an all-star card or something like that. So I went through and found out I'm missing just 12 actually. So still a little bit more maybe than I had thought, but not nearly as many as I kind of feared. So there's 12 more, and those I'd be fine if I find them graded or I find them ungraded. So hopefully maybe a mixture of both. I'd like to be able to get the remaining ones that are ungraded graded so I could have it all for potentially a display case, maybe in this office when I finish this display room into a baseball card room at some point, probably late spring, early summer. I was hoping we'd be able to get this all done and set up. So anyway, so that's one of the goals there. Another one is the top Heritage Chrome refractors. I only have one, so I'm still missing 14 of those. And then I need one more Diamond Anniversary card. It's in the update series. He's on a checklist. I have the Cognac one, I have the gold, but I don't have the Diamond Anniversary, so I'd like to be able to just pick up that card. During the course of this year, the ones I'm really prioritizing is getting those 12 remaining gold cards. The Heritage cards are not going anywhere. So if I wait another year before I kind of go after those, that's totally fine. That Diamond Anniversary card is pretty easy to find. And I could probably do better by just buying it for a few bucks and then going and get graded later than trying to find one that's graded. So we'll see what I do there, but those are like the 13 sort of Jeter cards that I'll be kind of targeting this year to kind of help flush out a bit some of the areas of my Jeter collection. And that would just kind of leave me potentially with the Chrome refractors to get in the future. All right, so now we got the big guy machine, Albert Pujols. So with the gold cards for him, I'm not doing the deep dive like I did for Jeter. I'm not trying to get every single one that he's pictured on. There, I'm just trying to get his base ones of his base image in the gold card version, and I'm still missing 14 cards. And for his Heritage Chrome refractors, I'm missing 11. So I've actually done a little bit better progress on his because he has more to get, but I've gotten a lot of them. So we'll see how that goes. So the goals for this year is to kind of continue to look for some serial number Topps Chrome Sapphire color cards. So it'd be like your red refractors, your purple refractors, your green refractors, your orange refractors. So just looking for some of those. I don't see myself getting a lot of the super expensive ones. Maybe one. I'd like to maybe pick up one red refractor if I could. One of ones I'm not really targeting at all. And we'll see if I can kind of flesh that out further. It's not a huge priority that I finish it, but I'd like to kind of, if I could find a good deal throughout the year, pick them up when I can. And then I would kind of really target trying to get the remaining Heritage Chrome refractors from 2010 onwards, and just leaving the remaining ones being from like 2000. I think he's in 2003. He's got a Heritage Chrome refractor card in that set. And from that point forward, I'll get those maybe at a later date, unless I can find them at a really good deal, because those earlier ones where he's with the Cardinals are a little bit more expensive. So then I'll probably be pumping the brake a little bit and having a target of like just a couple over the course of the year when I kind of go after those. But that's it. That's what I want to try and get, as well as finishing the Topps Gold run from 2012 onward, which would cover his entire like Angel career for the most part. I'm missing 7 cards in there, and then the remaining ones would be ones earlier on, which are the Cardinals, which are going to be a little bit more expensive too. So I got a little bit further to go with like the goals I have for Albert Pujols, but again, these are things I'm going to be working on over the course of several years, so it's not like I have to do it all at once. And then I have some other like sort of miscellaneous goals, and I picked the picture of the 52 Topps cards that I have specifically because that's one of them. I picked them up when and where I can find them in really good condition, either to be graded or already graded. And I'm fine with commons as well as trying to find Hall of Fame cards. I prefer, obviously, the Hall of Fame cards. But I'm also fine picking up some really good looking commons for the set, just because I think it's a really beautiful set. And it's not one I'm going to complete, but I like picking up along the way. Oddly enough, I still need one more Topps Gold card. I decided to put it back on the list, even though I thought about maybe discontinuing it altogether as cards I wanted to acquire. And that's the Will Clark card. It's his final card, and he's actually pictured with the St. Louis Cardinals. So I said, all right, let's go ahead and do it. But the ones I found on for purchase have just been ridiculously expensive. So I'm trying to find one that may go to auction at some point where I can actually find it in the price range that I want to be able to get. And then sort of an inexpensive goal is just picking up some of the Topps Diamond Anniversary Hall of Fame players. Not the retired players so much. That's not the ones I'm kind of looking at, but like the players that were active players in 2011 or had just retired at the end of 2010 and have a card in 2011, to kind of be more aligned with like the project I did with the 2001 Topps Gold cards. But this time I want just the Hall of Famers. I'm going to try and get those cards and at some point, have them for a display case in the future because I just think they look beautiful. So I'll go for like the Diamond Anniversary ones. I don't have a lot of them right now, and that's fine. And if I just pick up a few over the course of the year, graded or ungraded, it's perfectly fine. All right, then grading. I did quite a bit of grading last year, at least for me. I did 3 submissions. So here's like one of the highlights from here, which I think was maybe the hit of the year for me personally, but you may have a different opinion. Let me show you the ones I would kind of prioritize getting graded. No vintage right now, although I could probably stick a vintage card or 2 into an order. And some of these will change if like SGC has like a special on like cards from the 1950s or cards on special on pre-war cards or something like that. Then I'll prioritize that. So I'll be looking out for some of their specials. But in the absence of their specials, I want to try and knock out like the 2001 Topps Gold cards. I'd like to be able to get those graded, at least the Hall of Famers and maybe the really big superstars, like the Bonds and the McGuires of the world, guys that are not going to be in the Hall of Fame but are pretty big stars from that era. Get them graded so I can actually help and put it into a display case of graded cards from that set. And like I said, I already have all the cards. It's just a matter of me submitting them in for grading. So we'll take some time to be able to do that. So I probably won't finish all that this year, but those are probably, I wanted those to kind of maybe the bulk of my submissions, but we'll see how it kind of pans out. If there's Albert Pujols, if I have some serial numbered cards to submit, I'll do it. So I already have a few that I would want to be able to submit if I was putting an order together today. So if I add some into that, I'll kind of submit it off. So it'll be like your gold cards and some of your Topps Heritage Chromes and any Sapphire cards that are numbered. I would put into that order as well that I might pick up along the way. And then finally, any Derek Jeter Topps Gold cards that I might get, including also probably that one remaining Diamond Anniversary card I would put into an order. And that is it. Those are the goals for the coming year. So, feel free to kind of add in the comments if you have any questions or if you have any comments about the goals I'm putting together. I hope to be able to kind of take some of these projects into the National and do pretty well there. I don't think it'll be a problem going to the National or the Chicago Sports Spectacular with the goals of trying to pick up cards from the 53 Bowman set or cards from the Diamond Star sets, because you can find them at those venues and quite a few of them to be able to select from. So it'd be nice to have a larger selection of things that I can actually see in person and kind of work out deals with the dealers at those shows, as opposed to kind of searching online for them. But so we'll see how it goes. And, I wish you all really good luck with your hobby goals for the coming year. And I am actually looking forward to sharing these with you as I acquire them throughout the year. All right. So with that said, have a great rest of your day, great week, and I'll be back soon.